What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where it's happened. The hunters are finished. You'll have seen my guides on my channel, but we have now also got the Huntsman. It's finally here, and the question is it any good? Is it worth looking at? Who knows? It looks the part. It's a FAMAS with a very nice hunter skin on. And like I said, I've got the full guides to all of them on my channel if you need to check them out. It doesn't come max rolled. I had to roll, and it comes with random stats as well when you pull it from the box in the new settlement in the Battle for Brooklyn DLC. I had to put damage to target out to cover on mine, but I was lucky enough that my assault rifle and health damage was around 90%, so it didn't cost me too much to upgrade. I automatically put it at expertise level 30 because I do that with everything. But we'll crunch the numbers and everything now so you get an idea how good it is against Lexington and maybe the Carpenter and stuff like that, because that came out as well, the Caretaker, and that has definitely surprised us. That's, you know, no Lexington, use that. This one comes with Perfect Frenzy. For every 8 bullets in the magazine capacity, gain 3% rate of fire, 3% weapon damage for 9 seconds, but only when reloading from empty. So again, like the Caretaker, where it's not so great in a group compared to a Lexington, where you can put any talent you want, this has got a dependency. You've got to let it reload from empty. Now, I'm trigger happy when it comes to that reload key, so I'm interested to see how this is actually going to feel. I've also done the maths that I will show at the end. So let's go and give it a quick go. All red striker on, as always. We haven't got any survivability built in at all, so that might not necessarily be the right play, but for this, it's a good enough test. The stats that I've got as well show 30% expertise, glass cannon, and vigilance with strikers, but all of the comparisons all have the same gear, so same crit chance and same crit damage, so you get a fair comparison. So I'm probably going to go shield with this, just because I feel like I need to be a little bit more careful with the reload. And I feel like it might just mess me up. Oh, see there, triggered rapid. But it's still on because you get so much time with it. I mean, the RPM feels like an SMG. But you can't see, yeah, this is why I suggest you probably need a shield, because you can't dictate your own reload, right? But I mean, is it putting in the work? Absolutely. Would this be good like in an incursion style, like boss set style? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Maybe there's some fancy builds we could put out that, well, I mean, we can extend the magazine. Maybe that's where you would go with it a little bit, without losing too much damage. But we'll just do the next section. Let's get a bit more of a feel for it, and then I'll show you all the stats and everything that you need to know. I assume most people who are playing right now anyway will just farm this thing. The Hunter Master, definitely some of the more interesting content for us to do right now. The Brooklyn DLC is brilliant. I suppose, see, at that point there where I just reloaded, I hit reload again straight after, because I knew that I would be okay. I mean, this thing with Golden Bullet would be wild. Who's still hiding? So you get that point there, you see, like, but you get to a point where sometimes there is just no damage talent up. It's a very bursty style kind of gun, I guess. So the question is it good, is it bad, and how does it compare? So if you look at these things here, so let's just look at here. So that's the Caretaker. Now the Caretaker, you can see, has a slower RPM but more damage, but the same mag. And then we've got something like the Lexington. So you can see the Lexington just here, where it has an in-between RPM, an in-between damage as well. And obviously we can change the talent on that, whereas we can't on the Caretaker or the Huntsman. So Tickle, what's the best one? Which one should I be using on a day-to-day basis? Well, my friends, here you go. Here is the spreadsheet of joy, thanks to Dodd. That gives us all of our nice numbers. And essentially, the TLDR, for people who don't want to stick around and look at numbers, is actually, it comes in just under the Lexington, which is interesting. And it comes in as well, in some sense, below the Caretaker, but then not in other senses, if that makes sense. There's a lot of sense there. So let's just talk about that in more detail. So you can see there the Lexington plus Killer and the Lexington plus Streamline. All of the percentages compare themselves to the top. So you can see that using Lexington plus Killer comes out, you know, on top, essentially. That is your best go-to. But Killer obviously has the solo stipulation because you've got to get a kill, right? And if you're in a team of 4, that sometimes can be a little bit tricky. So therefore, maybe using Flatline or Streamline would be better in a group situation. And obviously on a Lexington, you can do that. You can switch the talent. Probably Streamline off the rip, but depends on what kind of build you're running, if you need to use skills or not, and things like that. So they're two very viable options. But you can see there with the Huntsman against the Lexington, you get some, you know, quite interesting numbers. And off an initial look, it looks like it's actually better. But when you look at the average, again, it shows it at 2% higher. But what you've got to take into account here is that you've got to rev that talent up. You have got a significant amount of downtime when you don't have the talent up. Because you've got to go through an entire mag before you get any kind of damage from that. So with it, the numbers being so close, it does mean that the Lexington is just going to win out. And that's okay, you know, it is where it is. But they've added another gun that is extremely close to the Lexington. Just like the Caretaker, using all 3 of these, you're not going to notice. You are literally not going to notice. Whichever one of these fits your playstyle, whichever one of these is your preferred go-to gun, they're all going to work fantastic. You could literally flip between the Huntsman and the Caretaker. Caretaker in group play, Huntsman in group play and Caretaker in solo play. And if you've not got a Lexington, you are going to do absolutely fine. So essentially, they've give people things to use when they don't have the Lexington because it was a limited drop. Although Yannick did smile and kind of indicated that you would think it is coming back at some point soon for something special. As of right now, you've got another 2 options, whereas you didn't have them options before. They come in so close to each other. It's absolutely incredible. So yeah, TLDR, use the Huntsman, or the Caretaker, or the Lexington, and you're going to be absolutely fine. Just pick your play style, pick which one feels the most comfiest to you, and you've got 3 really, really good guns. If you ask me, the Huntsman probably should have been a little bit better. Maybe a perfect stat on it would have been nice. It did take some work to get it, whereas the Lexington and the Caretaker kind of come for free. But, you know, that is what it is. So, yeah, that's going to be it for the video. I hope it was informative. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.